Shohei Ohtani reportedly meets with the Blue Jays in Dunedin. What does this mean for their pursuit of the marquee free agent? Hey everyone, welcome into Long Ball. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Toronto Sun Blue Jays writer Rob Longley, who is in Nashville for the winter meetings. And Rob, the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes seem to be coming to a head, and the Blue Jays are firmly in the mix, according to the latest report from Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic, who says it is believed that Ohtani and the Blue Jays met on Monday at the team's player development complex in Dunedin. What do you think this latest news says to you about the Blue Jays trying to land arguably the biggest free agent in baseball history?
Yeah, Rob, it certainly confirms what we've been led to believe all along, and that the Jays are very, very serious players for Shohei Ohtani, who, as you mentioned, will be the richest contract in the history of the sport. For a while now, the perception was that the Jays were in on it, one of a handful of teams, as many as five or six. But the fact that Ohtani visited the complex in Dunedin suggests that Ohtani himself is interested as well. And from everything we've been led to believe, he's being very thorough in his approach here. He knows that he's going to get the money. His camp knows that he's going to get paid. So now you're looking at situations that are going to suit you well. And Ohtani is a very meticulous athlete. He goes about his business in a serious way. Preparation is key to him. Fitness and health is key to him. And the Blue Jays have a state-of-the-art facility in Dunedin in their player development complex. They spent $100 million on it a few years back, and they consider it a jewel in what they're doing, and they consider it as a real attraction to free agents. And any player who sees it for the first time, I've been there at spring training when guys walk in, and they're just blown away by it. Now, on top of that, a big part of the $300 million renovations at the Rogers Center that are ongoing as we speak will be a new clubhouse and new player facilities there. And the Blue Jays believe that that'll help pitch free agents like Ohtani. Now, does this mean that he is going to land with the Blue Jays? Not necessarily, but it certainly means that he's doing his due diligence, and that he considers the Jays as serious players, which is a massive development for the team and a massive development in the sport.
Yeah, it really would be quite the coup if the Blue Jays were able to land Ohtani in some ways. Lots of talk as well about Alek Manoah this week and whether or not he might be used in a trade this offseason. Where do you think stand with him in the organization right now, considering all the turmoil this past season for Manoah and the club?
That's one that's really difficult to get a handle on, Rob, because anytime Ross Atkins has talked about Alek Manoah, it's been in very vague terms and very sort of positive terms. He believes that Alek Manoah will bounce back. He believes that Manoah will not only be in the rotation next year, but be a prominent member of the rotation. Now, of course, he's going to say those things because he wants to help build up the player, but he also wants to build up the player's value if he's involved in trade talks. And I think that the Jays would consider Manoah as trade bait. Obviously, there was a disconnect between the player and the management side for last season when Manoah did not show up to Buffalo on his second demotion. So I think that they would look very seriously as him as an asset that they could use in a trade. And certainly we've seen him linked to a possible deal with San Diego for Juan Soto. And I think it would take a lot more than an Alek Manoah, but the fact that his name is out there on the trade block is very interesting, and certainly gives us a window into what the Blue Jays feel about him right now.
Well, despite there being no moves for the Blue Jays just yet, Rob, it's been an exciting last week or so for Blue Jays fans. We'll see what else is in store for all of Rob's Blue Jays coverage from the winter meetings. Head over to the Toronto Sun.